Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great episode of Third Down Chirp, delivered by Papa John's. I'm your host, Luke Martin, alongside Zach Hughes, Tyler Bradfield. Wow, I think that is the word to describe the weekend for the Ball State football team. Huge win in Charlottesville, Virginia, fellas.
Just a great win for this team, for the program. The first win for this program over an ACC team. A huge weekend to be Ball State.
Now it's time to hear what Zach Hughes and Tyler Bradfield think. All right, guys, let's put on your coaching cap a little bit. Who's going to be the X factor this weekend in Akron, Ohio?
Luke, the X factor for me is Eric Patterson in the Ball State secondary. You alluded to it. Akron's a very pass-heavy team. They're averaging over 228 yards through the air and only a little over 100 on the ground. So the secondary for Ball State, Eric Patterson in specific, they really need to play well if Ball State wants to stay in this game.
Zach, let's start with you. What stood out about the win Saturday afternoon?
What stood out about the win Saturday afternoon is Willie Snead and just his playmaking ability. It seems like anytime Keith Winning needs someone to make a play, go ahead and throw it up to Willie Snead, and he's going to come down with it. We'll all remember the fourth down touchdown catch to win the game. But how about that 39-yard touchdown grab in double coverage over the shoulder to give Ball State their first score of the first half and go in tied at half, 7-7. But when you look at this game, the third down conversions for Ball State and the fourth down, they had 8 first downs in those situations, third down or fourth down. Willie Snead caught 5 of those completions. So really, his ability to make plays just stood out to me, and it was a reason Ball State got the win.
All right, guys, now it's time to go through our opening drive for our 3 main headlines for the win over Virginia. Zach, let's start with you. What stood out about that huge win in Charlottesville?
Well, we've kind of been talking about it a lot, and we referred to it last week, but this is a coach's dream team that Ball State has here. If you look at the Virginia game, Virginia had 4 turnovers, Ball State had 0. And then the penalties. Virginia had 13 penalties for 93 yards, and Ball State only had 1 for 15 yards. There was a huge play in that game, an 81-yard touchdown pass, but it got called back for Virginia because they had an ineligible receiver downfield, one of the linemen downfield. So just a huge turning point of that game. And on the season, Ball State's only committed 22 penalties for 180 yards. Their opponents, 56 for 486. So just a huge difference in penalties and turnovers this season.
Zach, let's start with you.
Guys, it's kind of an easy way out for me, but my X factor for the game is Keith Winning, and I think his play is going to be so important. Last year against Northern Illinois, he threw it 71 times, and that is outrageous to me. There's no reason he should be throwing that much with Juwan Edwards and Horatio Banks in the backfield. I just don't think if Ball State gets in a shootout with Northern Illinois, I don't think it's going to end well for them because Jordan Lynch has so much firepower. So Keith Winning, if he can just stick to the game plan, hand it off a little bit, and they set up the running game, then he can attack with Willie Snead and all the receivers we know he has. They're 2-6, but their 6 losses this year have come to teams with a combined record of 32-8, you guys. And when this team's clicking, they're very good. I just think Ball State and Northern Illinois are on a crash course. I have Ball State on the road in a close one, 30-20.
So, Zach, where are you going for your prediction? Are the Red Hawks somehow going to get something going on Senior Day?
I've got Ball State in this one. You mentioned their points per game, only 9.6 points per game. Ball State can score that in their sleep. I have Ball State rolling in this one, 45-10. If you look at this Northern Illinois team, 20 straight conference wins. That's incredible. And I think a big key to this game is they haven't played since November 2nd. So it's going to be 11 days since they last played. I think those extra days rest give them a little bit of an edge over Ball State, who played last week. I have NIU in this one, you guys, 38-35.